Hello everyone, this is Professor Fang. Today we are going to talk about the wealth ladder. It's a simple 6-level map to show you what to spend, earn, and invest at the different stages, how long the climb of the ladder actually takes, and how rich are people at different ages. I'll show you some eye-opening data at the end, so please stick to the end. If you want to learn English, this is also very good listening material to gain some new words and sentence structures. First of all, we have to define a very important concept, which is your net worth. Net worth equals assets minus liabilities. Assets are everything you own that has value. Cash, investments, real estate, even your car can be your assets. Liabilities are everything you owe. Student loan, credit card balance, your mortgage, and your car loan, and so on. So eventually your net worth is assets minus liabilities. Say you own a condo worth $300,000 and you have a saving account worth roughly $20,000, and also you have $30,000 in investments. That's totally $350,000. So that's your assets. You still owe $200,000 on your mortgage and $10,000 on your car loan. Total liability is $210,000. So your net worth will be $350,000 minus $210,000. That is $140,000. So that's your asset. So we have different levels of your wealth. The first level, your net worth is below $10,000. The second level, your net worth is between $10,000 and $100,000. And if you are in the level 3, your net worth lies between $100,000 and $1 million. And the level 4 has net worth between $1 million and $10 million. A person in level 5 has net worth between $10 million and $100 million. And the people who actually own $100 million or more are at level 6. So these are the 6 different levels on the wealth ladder. So how people at different levels spend or should spend. In terms of a healthy spending habit, there is a very neat calibration trick, which is called 0.01% rule. So the thing is that impact of any spending decision on your net worth is negligible if the spending is within 0.01% of your net worth. That means that at level 1, your net worth is smaller than $10,000. Then 0.01% is $1 or less. So at level 1, every dollar matters because every dollar is larger than, 0.01% of people's net worth. So you have to spend them very carefully. Go up to level 2. At level 2, your net worth is between $10,000 and $100,000. So 0.01% of that, roughly between $1 and $9. Then you have something called grocery freedom. Don't get me wrong, you have grocery freedom does not mean that if you shop in the supermarket, you can buy whatever you want without ruining your financial health. That simply means that you can choose between normal egg or organic egg. For example, a dozen of normal egg costs you $5. On the other hand, the organic egg costs you $10. So the price difference is $5. It's typically within 0.01% of your net worth. That has, even in the long run, no impact on your financial health. So you kind of have the freedom when you do the grocery. Going up to level 3, your net worth is between $100K to $1 million. That simply means you have the restaurant freedom. In the same token, that you have the freedom to choose from different restaurants, different types of food, without significant impact on your financial future. So going up to level 4, then 0.01% of the net worth is roughly between $100 and $999. The choice of where to go and how to get there does not have a significant impact on your financial future. When you go all the way up to level 5, even 0.01% of your net worth worth $1,000 to $9,999. So in this level, you have the house freedom. You can pick the house you like without significantly harm your financial situation. If you go all the way to the top, which is level 6, then you have something called impact freedom. You can use your money to make impact on the world. For example, a lot of things can be within your reach, right? You can easily donate $10,000 without even a second thought, because that's even within the 0.01% of your net worth. By the way, there are 10,000 households in the US are at level 6. Not many if you think about it. The population of the US is hundreds of millions, and you only have $10,000 household within this range. And on this planet, there are 30,000 households within level 6. So earning up the wealth ladder. How do you climb up? There are different strategies to climb up at different stages. If you are at level 1, for example, you are a student, your net worth is smaller than $10,000, that's okay, right? It's very easy to go from level 1 to level 2 because there is another rule which is called the 1% rule. So the thing is that if you have a side hustle or some hobby or some side projects that can bring in some extra money, whether it's worth the time, that's the question, right? The 1% rule tells you that if this side hustle can bring you money that is larger than 1% of your current net worth, then that's worth the time. For example, if your net worth is $2 million, you have a side project that may cost you maybe 50 hours. Then the question is, should I do it? According to 1% rule, you should ask yourself a question. Can I expect $20,000 income based on that side project? If yes, definitely you should give it a try, because after you try it, your net worth is increasing by 1%, which is a decent amount, right? So let's go level by level. If you are at level 1, it's very easy to climb up because you can just take an hourly job, right? If that hourly job can pay you more than $100, you are increasing your net worth by more than 1%. That's a good investment. So taking hourly job or even collecting empty bottles in the afternoon can help you, right? If you are at level 2, which means your net worth is between $10,000 and $100,000, you should think about some side hustle or job advancement that bring you $1,000 more in your income, right? So you should learn some skills. For example, you can become a plumber or some kind of skilled work that can bring you a significant amount of money that is more than 1% of your net worth. If you're at level 3, which means your net worth is between $10,000 and $1 million, then you definitely need some career advancement or some very good side hustles. So that eventually that can bring you more than $1,000 to $10,000 to increase your net worth by 1%. So if you're at level 4, actually, level 4 is very tricky because at net worth between $1 million to $10 million, it's very hard to go to level 5 with a normal job. What? Because eventually you can only get a finite amount of promotions, right? And then that's the end. No more promotion. Think about it. If now your net worth is $1 million and you have a very well-paid job and your investment is good enough that give you 5% of your annual return. If you save $100,000, which is a lot, right? After tax, after living, after all your kids' payment, you still save $100,000 and you invest it with an annual return of 5%. how much time does it take to bring you from $1 million to $10 million? 28 years. Can you imagine that? You save so much money every year and invest with consistency. Still take 28 years, almost like 3 decades, to bring you from 1 million to 10 millions, right? So the thing is that if you say, okay, I save more, I save $200,000 and do investment at 5% of annual return, that takes you 21 years. If you say, okay, I save $300,000, that still takes 17 years, a lot. So how to get out of the level 4? The answer is that you have to start a business or very successful investments or both. So that eventually, if you are lucky enough and with tenacity, you reach level 5, the idea to go from level 5 to 6 is that you have to scale your business with certain large investment success, then you can eventually go to level 6. So that's the strategy. Actually, you have to remember what takes you here does not take you there, which means the strategy to climb from level 1 to level 2 does not help you to go from level 2 to level 3. By the way, if you want to listen this without the help of the subtitle, please join our listening class. This class is what I designed based on past 15 years of experience in English learning. And it will use speed listening to help you to improve the listening skills significantly within a short time. Please check out the pinned comment below for more information. Okay, great. Let's look at some figures and charts I find very interesting. So look at this figure. This shows at different level of wealth, what is the median income. That simply means that half of the people at this level earn less than this, half of the people earn more than that. So you see a trend that is going up, which makes sense. If you make more money, you can save more, you can invest more, then your net worth is higher. But the interesting thing is that people at the level 5, which means the net worth is at least $10 million. A lot of money, right? But the thing is that their median income is not very significant. It's only $700,000. It's not like a multi-million-dollar income, right? So investment does come into play. Let's look at the cash level by wealth level. So we see that there is a very consistent decrease in the cash level as you go up the ladder. So the people at the level 6, which means they have more than $100 million, a lot of money, they only have like roughly less than 5% of cash. Remember, at this level, even 5% of the total wealth is a lot, right? It's already like $5 million in the bank account, and that's a lot. But the trend is that you see that there's a steady decrease in the cash level because of the rest of the wealth are not in cash, are in other things. For example, stock, real estate, those kind of things. Let's look at the vehicle wealth by wealth level. Vehicle, for example, in the US, typically every household have one, even for those with net worth less than $10,000. You can see there's a very, very sharp decrease in the wealth level. So for the people with less wealth, they have a lot of portion of wealth in their vehicle. So what we can learn here, you should buy cheap vehicle and spend the rest on investments. At least you should not upgrade your vehicle based on your wealth. That will ruin your wealth. For example, if your net worth places you at level 3 and you have $500,000, you should not spend on a very fancy car. You should keep it simple and put the rest in investments. So this is a primary residence by wealth level. Remember, when you talk about the real estate, you have to exclude your primary residence because you are living in it, and that is not your wealth. That actually do not generate cash flow for you, and you have to maintain it. So you see that at level 1 to 3, primary residence occupies more than 50% of their net worth. I would not define the primary residence as assets, even though it goes up in value if you are lucky, but eventually you cannot sell it. You still need a place to live, right? Now we look at the real estate by wealth level, which means this real estate is excluding the primary residence because it's not an asset. So these are the second house or third house, right? So you see the people with net worth less than $10,000, they don't have that, almost like zero. The people at the level 2 typically have a small amount of it. And then you see that there is a gradual increase as you move up in the ladder. Especially at the level 4 and the level 5, the real estate investment occupies roughly 10%. If you really go up at level 6, their real estate investment is actually decreasing. Business interest by wealth level. It's interesting. At the level 1, you're almost like zero. Actually, all the way to level 3, they don't have a business interest, or they don't have much business interest, right? And actually, when you at level 6, you have more than 50% of the wealth coming from the business interest. So that illustrates that if you want to actually climbing up, you have to start a business. Any kind of business is okay. For example, YouTube channel is one of the forms, right? Let's look at the income producing assets. What kind of assets can produce income? For example, rental property, right? If you buy another house and rent it out, or you have a farmland, or you have music, or even music royalty can be income producing assets. For example, if you're a singer and you produce music and then people play on their devices, you get paid. So that's all sorts of like income producing assets. Of course, you can see that at the lower wealth level, the percentage is low. And you see people at level 4, 5, 6 all have income producing assets more than 50%. So, rich people actually buy things that can make them even richer. Remember that. Okay, let's come to the ages. So in the social media, you may think that a lot of people are very rich at their young age. Whether that's true, let's look at the statistics. Look at this wealth level versus 50 percentile age table. You see that actually people are pretty senior. So for example, at the level 3, you have net worth more than $100,000 but less than $1 million. People typically have to reach like age 54 to reach that level. If you at that level at the 30 or 20, you are way ahead of people. You are doing very well. And at the level 4, which is so-called upper middle class. So actually, half of the people who are at the level 4 are older than 62 years old. People are not very rich when they are young, remember. And level 5, you have to reach 64, which means half of the people at the level 4 are older than 64. And for level 6, half of the people are older than 66 at the level 6. Let's also look at the percentile. And if you look at this table, at the different wealth level, we show 10 percentile, 25 percentile, 50 percentile. 10 percentile shows like the youngest 10% at that level, right? Look at the level 3. The 10 percentile actually is 32, is at roughly my age, to reach level 3. And the level 4, the youngest 10 percentile is what? 43. If you reach level 4 at my age, for example 32, you are doing actually extremely well. Do not believe in the social media, you have like a billionaire in their 20s. That's not true. That's only few outliers. And let's look at the highest level, people with, $100 million. What are the youngest 10 percentile? It's 50 years old. So you do need that time to get the wealth built up. And for the 50 percentile at the level 6, it's 66. It's pretty senior people. Okay, the last part, which is the most important part. How long on average does it take to go up by one level? I don't know your level, but you must be within one of the levels, right? So how long does it take for you to climb up? Let's look at this table. So each row is actually starting wealth level. Each column is ending wealth level after 10 years. So if you look at the 46%, this means that 46% of the people who start at the level 1 after 10 years, they still stay at level 1. We see a trend. Besides level 2, other level, if you start from certain level, you tend to stay at that level, right? Level 3, 72% of the people who start from level 3 still stay in level 3 after 10 years. 72% of the people who start from level 4 still stay at level 4. And 55% of the people starting from level 5, which is more than $10 million, still at level 5 after 10 years. The only exception is level 2. You know, more people, 44% of the people actually move up by one letter if they're starting from level 2 after 10 years. So this is the interesting part. You overall tend to stay at the same level, but level 2 is pretty easy because, you know, people with level 2 wealth typically have a good discipline, they have some job, they are not addicted to drugs or alcohol, and then over time they can build wealth. What about 20 years? People starting from certain level tend to go up a little bit, right? So that the maximum value, for example, if you're starting from level 1, after 20 years in the US, there's a good chance for you to go to level 2 or 3. Right? If you're starting from level 2, there's a very big chance, 55%, more than half of them actually go to the next level. And 5% of them even go up the wealth ladder by 2 stages. That's like 100 times increase in net worth within that 20 years. And level 3, kind of like stuck people, 61.8% people still stay at the same level if they start from level 3. And level 4 tend to stuck people, right? 64% stay at the same stage even after 20 years. And also if you are at level 5, 54% of the people actually go down after 20 years. So you have to be very careful if you are at level 5 to not go down. Okay, that's everything for today. If you like, please subscribe. I will see you next time.